ESPN.
We're starting to get a clearer picture as to what a package might look for Aaron Rodgers. By the way, can we just accept the inevitable that he's getting traded? Because Aaron Rodgers wants to get traded. That's why he's getting moved. So let's be very clear about that. Brian Gutekunst of the Packers, the GM. Apparently, Aaron, in a group text with some teammates and friends, referred to him as Jerry Krause in reference to, of course, the Bulls GM and the anti-hero of the, I guess you'd call him a villain to a degree, of The Last Dance. You know, I also thought he got a bad rap in it too. But that aside, Bill Barnwell on ESPN.com earlier today wrote a story with proposals for 7 teams to look at trade offers for Aaron Rodgers and what they might look like. Now, we're not saying that he would definitively accept trades to all these teams, but these are teams where you would think going after Aaron Rodgers would be a smart thing to do. Generally, you could say that for 25 teams, but these are the 7. The Browns, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Titans, Washington, and your New York Football Giants. So what does a Giants package look like, according to Bill Barnwell, for Aaron Rodgers? The Packers would get the Giants 2 first-round picks next year, 1 in 2023. So 3 first-round picks and Darius Slayton. Now, I have to be honest. 3 first-round picks is pretty steep when you really understand that Aaron Rodgers, even though he doesn't have a no-trade clause, is going to dictate where he plays. There is very much a new idea that continues to grow in the NFL that has been an old idea in the NBA for quite some time. Players controlling their destiny by simply refusing to do otherwise, especially when they're superstar players. As Peter King said on KJZ this morning, it is going to look similar to what James Harden did in Houston to get out. Not that Aaron Rodgers is going to tank it, but that he's going to refuse to play for the Packers anymore. They're going to have to trade him. And the sooner they come to that realization, the better. It's just working with him to figure out what's acceptable and what's not in terms of where he would go. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Giants have all been teams that it has been suggested he would be open to going to. 3 first-round picks when you only have a couple of other places that you could end up, that's a lot. To me, I think if the Giants were in a position to give up 2 first-round picks next year, the 2 that they have, especially considering one of them is going to be a pretty high one, you would think, with the Bears. I mean, Bart thinks they're going to be good. I don't. Not this coming year, even though they have a good defense. I don't think they're going to be that good. I think that's going to be a decent pick, especially if you're playing a rookie quarterback. So if you have those 2 first-round picks, and let's say you give them the 3rd that you picked up from the Bears, to me, that's a very fair deal for Rodgers when you consider that there will only really be 3 places that you could send him. And I think it might end up being a better package than you're going to get from any team in the AFC. Because whether it's the Raiders or the Broncos, those teams know that you would much rather send him to an AFC team than an NFC team. If the Giants are in a position to get him and they can give up more than the other teams, the Packers shouldn't be worried about giving up or about rather not trading him to the NFC if the Giants package is markedly better than what the Broncos or the Raiders are willing to give up. If I'm Green Bay, I'm not going to worry about that. It'd be one thing if it's San Francisco sending him there. But if I'm Green Bay, if I send him to the Giants, okay, he's not blocking me from getting to the Super Bowl next year. I don't. It's been very quiet on the Jordan Love front. I don't buy for a minute that Jordan Love is locked in as the heir apparent in Green Bay. And yeah, it's off of a COVID year where he would not have gotten the normal work and development and chances to learn that you would get in a regular season. But if they don't believe in him, they're obviously going to need another answer, whether that's drafting somebody or whether that's if they want to take a shot at Daniel Jones in that kind of a package as well. To me, the Giants would immediately become a favorite in the NFC if they got Aaron Rodgers. Immediately. Would be right at the top of the odds in the NFC. And that's why you would have to do it. And if it came down to it being 3 first-round picks, I got to tell you, I might do it anyway, because that means if he truly wants to be with the Giants the next few years, then I have a chance to go to the Super Bowl at least 2 times, if not 3. 800-919-3776. Let's hit Frank in Staten Island next, 98.7 ESPN. Frank, what do you got?
What's up, Chris? How are you?
I'm great, buddy. How are you?
Good. I couldn't agree with you more. You used the perfect word with the Rangers firing. Sketchy. There's something stinks, and it just makes no sense.
I'm not destroying it yet, but I don't.
Me neither.
I just look at it and I'm like, something ain't right here.
It makes no sense. But someone's skating scot-free under the radar, and that guy is Coach David Quinn. This man.
I wouldn't buy that yet. I wouldn't buy that yet, Frank.
He's not the coach to lead these young kids. He's a college coach with a 500 record. There's many other coaches out there that can do a better job, that have NHL experience, and 2 of them are on the bench as assistants. And there's one man, Gerard Gallant, that's out there that took Las Vegas as an entry-level team and took them 2-3 years in a row to the finals. My other point is this, Chris. Messier, yeah, he's great. He's a god to us Ranger fans, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have success as a head coach.
That's correct.
Look at Kevin Lowe. I would hate to see him ruin his reputation and his godlike status. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, but I don't think he's necessarily the answer. And my last point is tonight, I don't know if you saw what happened, but it was
all the fights in the first period.
Yes, it was the proper response. It was needed. But at the end of the day, Wilson's still laughing in the penalty box. And I don't think justice has been served. Number one, the NHL could have avoided all this garbage with a 1-game suspension. Number two, no one. They all got their heads bashed in, every single one of them. Smith gave Wilson somewhat of a fight, and I still think someone should, skate across the ice tonight and give him a shot. But at the end of the day, the Rangers have promised. I think letting JD go is surprising, and don't forget, Artemi Panarin came here because of JD. And we would have seen Panarin as an Icelander if it wasn't for JD. So,
hey, look, listen, I don't know that for certain. Thanks for the call. Obviously, JD played a big role in that. Couple of things there. David Quinn, I think there's a strong chance that he's going to get fired here. I would not count on David Quinn absolutely returning. That could happen here in the next few days. You mean to tell me that you can't see a situation where Chris Drury wants to go and hire his own guy? I absolutely believe that could happen. I think that will happen. And I think his guy is going to be Mark Messier. I firmly believe that Mark Messier is going to be the Rangers coach. I will be shocked if he's not. Shocked. 800-919-3776. Our last moments of the show, the last 10 minutes or so, they are about you, my friends. They are about you. We have open lines. I would encourage you to jump on them at 800-919-ESPN. and let us host some special time between us. Man, I was really looking for something eloquent to say there, and yeah, I came up with nothing.
It's Carlin.
I have very little patience for stupidity.
On 98.7 ESPN.
You have a vision for your window and door.
You are now.
Installation
All right.
experts at Windorama can't wait to help bring it to life. Windorama is proud to feature Anderson 400 Series windows and doors. The Anderson 400 Series offers performance and style to satisfy almost any window or door need and features time-tested classic wood craftsmanship. Visit one of Windorama's 20-plus showrooms or visit Windorama.com and they'll help you see your project through from start to finish, including installation. Windorama, let your project be our passion.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-375-7841. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-375-7841 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-375-7841 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-375-7841.
Hey, it's Michael Kay. Tune in for my show Monday till 6:30 p.m. presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today and see how much you could save.
With 24/7 customer service and guaranteed repairs, your Progressive policy works the way it's supposed to. Unlike this stressful meditation guide.
Take a deep breath. Focus on all the things you have to do. Did someone make the vet appointment yet? You don't know? That feels like something you should know.
Switch to Progressive today.
You are a mess.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Repairs through Progressive Network. Jobs guaranteed for as long as you own or lease your car.
Do you hear My Computer Career ads and think, I don't know anything about computers? Well, you don't have to. Before starting, many graduates could turn a computer on and off. And that's it. And now they're IT pros. You could do it too. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life in as little as 4 months. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career.
Hey, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Richard said the exact same thing he said to me, to you, about the 3 people who are smiling. And when he told me to guess, I was like, I have no idea.
For 16 or older, log in an appointment today. The vaccines are safe, effective, and free. Get back to the things and people you love.
Coming back here.
Your family
All right.
and community.
And it's Pat O'Keefe.
Get vaccinated. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Put your heart out as well.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. Moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you.
Carlin.
Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating you. Moonlight,
98.7 ESPN 800-919-3776. We get as many calls as we can until Nick's pregame in just, about 9 minutes and 35 seconds from now. Pat O'Keefe, Knicks Nuggets in Denver. Pat in Lake Grove is next, 98.7 ESPN. Patrick, what's going on?
Hey, Chris, I'm a Jets fan, but I'm a football fan. And as awesome as it would be to see Aaron Rodgers in the New York market, to me it makes absolutely zero sense for the Giants to go out and give up 2 or 3 first-round picks for this guy. The Giants are not a better team than the Green Bay Packers. And Aaron Rodgers didn't win with the Green Bay Packers last year. And why are people so?
Would the Giants have more weapons than Aaron Rodgers had in Green Bay? Yes.
Why are people so quick to give up on Daniel Jones? He had a full slate of weapons.
Because we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about giving up on we're not talking about giving up on Daniel Jones, Pat. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers.
37 years old.
Yeah, and he's probably got 3 or 4 years left, and he just won the MVP. He won the MVP this season.
He's not going to keep going at that rate.
Wait, he won the MVP this season. Tell you what, I'm going to wait and see when that goes away. I'm going to let that play out for a bit myself. Thanks for the call, Pat. It is not a situation where you're giving up on Daniel Jones. It is you're getting Aaron Rodgers. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers can't play anymore? Because he just won the MVP. If you want to call up and say that, keep your phone in your pocket. Because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Somebody tweeted that at me today, and I said, just delete your account. What's your point? If you're going to tweet that, just delete your account. Call me fat, call me names, do anything you want. That carries more weight, so to speak, than saying that Aaron Rodgers is washed up, which is what somebody actually said to me today. He just won the MVP. This isn't about Daniel Jones. It's about Aaron Rodgers. Sam in San Antonio is next, 98.7 ESPN. Sammy!
What's going on, Carlin? How you doing, my brother? I hope all is well.
All good. How are things down south?
Safe one for you, man. Oh, my God, it's starting to get hot over here, man. It almost touched 100 yesterday.
Oof.
This is the time of year where it starts getting brutal. You're saying oof now? Mid-July, June, August? We're talking about 110, one teens every day.
But it's a dry heat.
No, you know what? It's not as dry as people think. It's not nearly as humid as it is back home in the Northeast.
Right.
But take the humidity there, knock it down like a level, maybe a level and a half, and then add 110 degrees to it. There you go. So before I get to my Mets point, if I may, one of the funniest news headline that I read today, and I just wanted to get your 2 cents on this because you're a funny guy. A mom who's an assistant principal and her daughter somewhere in Florida are now facing tampering charges because the mom used her assistant principalness to rig the prom queen vote.
Oh my God!
I'll let you get to your 2 cents after when I hang up.
We're rigging the. All right, let me ruminate on that for a second. What sport did you want to? Or what sports point did you have?
All right, so now with the Mets, I just saw Game 1 today. I know analytics is here to stay. My thing is that these guys that are in that room are supposed to be the smartest people out there. Why has analytics become the end all be all when it should be an added tool? Like the way with this whole circus with the Doug Diesel or whatever that ridiculousness was.
Yeah.
Their approach in itself is just. So when you said that there's an approach coach, I'm like, what the hell is that? Number one, sorry for saying that.
No,
I never heard of an approach coach. But all you need to do is just watch baseball. Make contact. That's what the game is about. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen first and third, nobody out, and nobody scores. And then just taking it back to DeGrom. I'm just happy as a Mets fan to a certain extent that we're able to see one of the legends during my lifetime. Tom Seaver was before me. This guy is just a pleasure to watch, in addition to just being as equally frustrating that he has to be the one that either is going to bring in the run himself, because the defense is still atrocious. He's doing it all. So
he is. And listen, Sam, I think a couple of things about what you had to say, and thanks for the call. First of all, good news with DeGrom. In fact, here he is from earlier today about how he's feeling.
I'm feeling good now. The plan is to see the doctor again tomorrow and let him reevaluate. And the plan is to play catch tomorrow if everything goes well.
All right. So that's good to hear. And he may be able to go as soon as this weekend. Personally, I would let him go until next week. I truly would. I would put him on the IL and then just let it play out for the 3 days retroactive, or 4 days at this point. And you'd get him back, like Tuesday or Wednesday next week. There's no need to rush him back. On the offense, when you're Chili Davis, at this point, you have to be willing to adjust a little bit. Now, it's clear that Zach Scott did not want Chili Davis to be the coach, to be the hitting coach. It's clear that they wanted to go in a much different direction that was more analytically based, and I get it, because Zach Scott had been up in Boston where Chili Davis was before. He got fired up there. You should have just made the change in the offseason. That's frankly what you should have done, but you didn't. But if you're Chili Davis, you have to be willing to adapt and not completely go with everything that they want to do, but find that way to marry the two in it. As for the mom who is rigging the election for the daughter, I wish my mom cared that much about me. Jason in Flushing, next, 98.7 ESPN. Jason, what's up?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Love the show. Hopefully you and your family are all well.
We're great, Jason. Appreciate you asking. Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the Rangers, what the news. Obviously, the guys at the K Show were talking about it, but, it's just disappointing that once again, James Dolan fixed his, feet goal where he doesn't need to be. Obviously, I think, Jeff Gordon and John Davidson, they were building a foundation. A lot of young talent was coming up. Although, we missed out on the playoffs this year, we think we made a lot of strides. Drafting young talent. So obviously, I think maybe he had a little bit more higher expectations than most.
Well, I think that I think that you saw. I think why this all happened today, Jason, and thanks for the call, is because you saw a bunch of things happen over the last few weeks. You saw the Rangers get their teeth kicked in 3 times by the Islanders, which he did not enjoy seeing. And they obviously did not have a physical edge to them in those games. You saw what happened the other night with Tom Wilson, and nothing coming out of it from the league. The statement coming from Dolan, really, it seems. JD didn't want to fire the GM. Dolan wanted to fire the GM. So JD said no, and he fired both. And I think it's a collection of things. It's watching the Knicks progress the way they did this year. It's just in the back of your mind. It's obviously a much different sport. And it's wanting to see this come along a lot quicker than it is. The problem is it already is coming along quicker than you would have expected. Like they were, you could argue, ahead of schedule. They just needed more physicality on the team with all the skill that they had on the team. Because when you run into situations like this, you have to be able to protect your players. And even tonight, where they dropped the gloves right off the faceoff, it's not like they went out there and dominated them physically in any of these fights. It wasn't just kick and tail all over the place. It was kind of the other way around. So, yeah, you're going to stand up for yourself. That's great. But at the same time, it's not like you went out there and proved a point. I don't love that this happened. I'm not burying it yet if it is going to mean adding a lot more in the offseason to go with the young talent you've got already. Great job, Jake Montgomery. Great job, Brian Mungia. Knicks pregame, Knicks Nuggets next. Pat O'Keefe, Carlin out.
Hey, it's Michael K.